And those are the kinds of things that I like, because otherwise, if you don't allow for that kind of, if you don't work to get that kind of depth, then you're not going to reveal new things and have conversations that people aren't aware of and haven't experienced before, because it takes time to get to those things. So how do you get to these deeper, more specific conversations faster is everything, and it's something I'm very passionate about. So that's how I try to apply it to my guests.
So I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to pick your brain real
Oh,
quick on the
Sure.
intro. Do you find that how do you keep people engaged at the beginning? I mean, we have an approach that we want to do, and I know everybody has different approaches. I see some people do the hook, what we're going to talk about today, and then they introduce
well,
themselves. Do you find that there's one technique that's better than others, or does it depend on the information you're trying to disseminate?
Yeah. So I think when you're first getting
I'm gonna
started, oh,
toss
go
one.
ahead.
I'm gonna toss one thing into that because I was thinking
Okay.
the same thing. So, and it's gonna be kind of that same answer for you, Vince, inside of there. I think. So, if we use this episode for an example, we started off talking about the whiskey barrel in the back. So you have that piece in the front. Since we do it unedited inside of there, do you need it? I mean, are you really going to capture someone? Or are you going to lose them in that first part for that? And if you add an intro on to that, are you going to lose them even more because you went from the intro to that and now you have it in a longer period?
Well, no. So the intro buys you time, is my idea. So I always approach it with, and I think for anybody, especially as you're new, getting started, building an audience, you don't have a big name, you don't have the credibility necessarily. So when you get new listeners, they're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Then as much as you can set it up for people early of what's going to happen in the episode and generally what the show is, it's good to reinforce all those things. I mean, you should be doing it anyway, just in terms of like the description of the show and the graphics and things like that. You want people to understand what the show's about, but you do need to remind them, and you need to do that consistently, because in that moment you're trying to solidify your brand in their mind, what this show is, the value they get, and why they should keep listening. So to open up episodes, when I do it solo, I'll do a quick intro and I'll say, hey, here's this common issue that I'm seeing all the time.